Welcome back. It is Tuesday, August 1st in the MLB. Our yes, you heard that, 5 favorite picks are on the way. We got 2 dinger picks at the end of the video as well. It's Austin joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. It was a 2-in-1 day. Hey, we'll take a profitable day to end July. Let's talk about it. Angels team total over 3.5. It was comical. We needed a hit with runners in scoring position, and they got it done in the 9th inning. We appreciate it. I think they went 1 for 11, but we'll take it. Padres team total under 6.5, sweat-free, even went into extra innings. Didn't have to worry about that. And then, Logan, you had Yankees money line. I know you could probably rant about that one. You banked on Herman starting. A very weird game. They bench Herman due to injury and put in Brito, hosts a home run derby, and then Herman comes in randomly and pitches 5 scoreless innings. A weird one. Yankees probably win today. We won't be on them, but either way, we got a loaded slate. We got a loaded card. Let's dive in. I'm just going to dive into my first pick, and we're going back to the team total train. Done pretty well in these past couple days. Let's go to this one. Go to the New York Mets, taking their team total under 5.5 runs, -130 on DraftKings. Now, personally, I play this right about -140. If this line did somehow get to 4.5 by the time the game starts, I would not play it at all. But let's talk about why I'm going to be taking this under, because this honestly feels like a system play, because I do not trust this Mets offense, just like the Padres when I took their team total under yesterday. I'm fine taking the Mets and just saying, hey, don't score 6 runs. I just don't trust this Mets offense to hit 1 through 9. In my opinion, in order to hit an over at score 6 or more runs, you need your whole team showing up. And the deadline is today at 6 p.m. Eastern. And who knows what the Mets roster looks like by the time first pitch comes around. Just traded Mark Canha a couple days ago. He was one of their trusted, hitters at the bottom of the lineup. And now I just don't trust the guys like DJ Stewart, Brett Beatty, Vogelbach. Those guys are going to be in the lineup probably today. And I don't trust them at all to consistently get on base and potentially be a threat to Zach Greinke, who's supposed to start for the Royals today. Now, you look at his starts, 3.74 ERA and a 1.32 whip at home. It's key to say at home because on the road, Greinke has not been there. But at home, he's been pretty good, and he's only allowed 6 home runs in 53 innings pitched at home compared to 14 home runs in 48 innings pitched on the road. In my opinion, when you see this Mets offense putting up runs, it's because of guys like Pete Alonso and Francisco Alvarez and Lindor all sending it into the bleachers. So if Greinke can limit, those 2-3 run home run shots and make this Mets offense have to beat them by consistently everyone getting hits, I'll take my chances there. I just don't trust the Mets offense to consistently get singles and doubles. If they're going to get a home run or 2 on Greinke, then that's just going to be how it goes. But the weather is all right in this Kauffman Stadium. It is sometimes the weather's blowing out, sometimes not. It's basically even. But at the end of the day, I'll take the Mets to go under this one. You look at them, they face Greinke, not a ton. You look at Tommy Pham, who actually could be traded today. He's 3 for 20 against Greinke. Narvaez, 2 for 6. Vogelbach, 0 for 3. Lindor, 1 for 3. Alonso, 1 for 2. I mean, they don't have a ton of splits against Greinke. He's going to give up some hits. It's whether or not this Mets team can get the hits with the timely hits that we talk about all the time. Can they get those hits with runners in scoring position? They got 2 outs. Can they get them? They haven't been able to do it all year long. What's to say they can do it today? I don't really know. But at the end of the day, Greinke's going to force them into hitting the ball and potentially into some double plays. Vogelbach, Alonso, those guys are hitting into double plays like it's going out of style. And also, like I talked about, Greinke at home been really good. Greinke and the Royals bullpen have tag team in 10 home starts. To other opposing teams under this line in 9 of 10 starts. Go back to last year, opposing team was under this in 11 of 12 Greinke home starts. I'll take my chances. In July, the Mets actually were decent against right-handed pitchers in terms of batting average. Still didn't have a great month, hence why they're selling guys at the deadline. I don't know what their lineup looks like today, but I don't really care what it looks like. I'm taking the Mets team total under 5.5 as my first play of the day. But Logan, you're switching things up. You got a hit parlay. Where are you going today?
Yeah, I'm taking a hit parlay in this one. We're going to start with the Rangers game, and I'm taking Nate Lowe. And we're also taking Austin Riley of the Braves to get a hit. -108 on Bet365 is currently your best value. Now, Austin Riley's game does start a little bit earlier, so we'll tackle him first. Obviously, Riley, one of the best hitters. He's been an absolute friend of me. He's been a friend of our Dinger picks as well. And Riley has a hit in 11 out of his last 12 games. 6 straight games as well for Austin Riley. So he's one of those, it's a great percentage play to go with him, in my opinion. At home, Riley hitting 308 this season. So obviously been hitting the cover out the baseball at home. And he faces Patrick Sandoval today, the lefty, who he's 2 for 2 against in his career. So he's seen Sandoval, obviously limited plate appearances, but he has recorded a hit in 2 at-bats. So you do like to see that. Sandoval allows a 252 opponent's batting average to right-handed batters. He's about average in terms of that. And after putting up only 1 run yesterday, this Braves offense, led by a guy like Austin Riley, will put pressure on Sandoval and even the Angels bullpen. I don't trust the Angels bullpen to be able to duplicate what they did yesterday. They absolutely shut out the Braves in that late game. So I really do expect Austin Riley to be able to get us a hit today. And then that goes to our second leg of the parlay, which is Nate Lowe to get a hit. Nate Lowe has a hit in 12 out of his last 13 games, so really good, stats for Nate Lowe. He's hitting 305 at home this season, just like Riley, hitting above 300 at home. And Lowe will face Schultz today to start the game, but White Sox, it seems that they're going with a bullpen game in this one. And obviously, I don't have any information on Schultz. He's like a 1 innings pitch, maybe 2 innings pitch max type guy. But over the last 7 days, the White Sox are 15th in bullpen ERA, so they're middle of the pack. But even though they've been respectable recently, they're still 25th in bullpen ERA on the year. I just don't trust them to be able to limit a guy like Nathaniel Lowe to not getting a hit. Lowe should have several opportunities to get that hit today for us, especially with the over/under being set to 9. So I definitely think Lowe will stand a good chance of cashing. Can Austin Riley cash our first leg? I definitely think so. So I'm switching up, going with the hit parlays because I'm quite frankly pissed off on game picks, but I think it stands a really good chance of cashing Austin. What else you going with?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Rangers today. I think coming off a series, reverse sweep, they got swept by the Padres. Coming back home, I think that Rangers offense is going to show up, and Lyle's one of those guys that they kind of need to show up. He normally bats in, the 5 spot for him. My Dinger pick, spoiler alert, will be in that game. But either way, let's go to another kind of team totals type pick, and let's go to this one. It's going to be a same game parlay, and I'll talk about it in exactly different books you can bet it on. I'm taking the Cubs team total under 5.5, parlaying that with the Reds team total under 5.5. This is -110. On BetMGM. Now, you can play this identical parlay on BetMGM, obviously. DraftKings, Bet365. One of the main books you can't do it on is FanDuel. So if you are on FanDuel, my pivot would be I like the Cubs plus 2.5 full game and the under 9.5 full game as well. I don't really know what the value is on FanDuel since they don't have a lot of same game parlay lines as we record this, but I imagine by the time the video comes out, they probably have some more lines, or definitely by the time first pitch rolls around. But let's talk with this one because my original lean was actually take the under at 8 or 8.5 in this one. I think it ends at 8 by that first pitch. However, I feel like this is a little bit safer for us because, if one of these two teams putting up 6 runs, probably a good chance that over-under is pushing at best, maybe probably going over. But let's talk about this one, and let's talk about why I like the under and why I think both teams aren't going to score 6 runs today. And let's talk about Justin Steele first for the Cubs. He's going to lead it off, 2.87 ERA and a 1.2 whip. He's been pretty good this year. Been one of the trustworthy Cubs pitchers. However, his last start versus the Reds, you probably didn't want to back him. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 earned runs allowed, 6 unearned runs. So he gave us absolutely no chance. But look at a guy like him. I think he's going to bounce back. I think that was just a 1-game sample size. He only allowed 7 home runs in 109 2/3 innings pitched. He made this Reds team, everyone hit him, and they had 10 hits on him. Obviously, if you're getting 10 hits, giving up 10 hits, you're going to score some runs. But I expect Steele to be better, and so do the Bucks. They got the Cubs sitting at like -180, -170 on the money line. There's going to be some people that want to go out there and bet Reds, especially after yesterday when they won outright as a very public underdog. I just don't see that happening today. Yesterday, the Reds, they did score 6 runs. They won this. They technically ruined this bet because it was 6-5 final score. However, that was a game, you saw them score 6 runs in the first 3 innings on Stroman. Then they did nothing the rest of the game. I think they won't score as many runs early against Steele, maybe some against the bullpen. But either way, this is still a Reds team that in July, they weren't hitting well against lefties. They actually were 22nd in batting average, 22nd OPS versus left-handed pitchers. And teams are under this 5.5 runs in 16 of 19 Steele starts. Now, one of the 3 teams that went over obviously was the Reds, but I just don't know if I trust this team on the road. They obviously are much better at home in Great American Ballpark, but on the road in Wrigley Field, we'll talk about the weather in a little bit. I just don't think this Reds team scores a lot today, and they can still score 5 runs, and we still have a chance at winning this bet. Now, on the other side, we got Ben Lively going for the Reds, 3.76 ERA and a 1.21 whip. Actually was really good in July. He had a terrible June, but good in July. 4 starts, 3 ERA, and a 1.09 whip. Hey, he was really good. Now, if there is a concern, if I think there is a team that ruined this bet, I think it would be the Cubs scoring 6+ runs. But I don't think you set an over-under at, 8, 8.5. You're expecting a team to, go out there and almost hit the over by themselves. And this is the Cubs offense. Yeah, they were red hot in July, obviously. This is a team coming into this game starting August 1st. They're exactly 500, I think 53-53, and they have completely avoided, becoming a seller at the deadline. Now, will that carry into today? I don't know. A lot of people can maybe that smoke in the mirrors. Maybe like, hey, we're not selling guys unless you give us a great offer. That could also be the thing. So could we see the Cubs trade some guys today? Yeah, but I'm not banking on that today. I'm expecting the same lineup that they trotted out yesterday to be the same one they played today, but it is something that could benefit us if they want to trade some of their better guys. But at the end of the day, this is still a Cubs offense. I think that is cooling down a little bit here. They have gone under 5.5 runs in 4 straight games. And look, Lively, it should give us a chance here. In his last start, he allowed 8 hits. I just don't see him giving up 8+ hits in back-to-back games. Still managed to only allow 2 earned runs, so got out of some tough jams. And I think Lively will give us a shot today. That's all I'm asking for. And if the Cubs are putting up a good amount of runs, probably a good chance they're not batting in the 9th inning. So maybe we only got 8 innings for him here. And this is a Reds bullpen that did use a lot of arms yesterday. Abbott did not go far into the game, but a lot of those guys weren't pitching very far into it. You know, some had 3, 7, 9 pitches, and those were some of the better arms. They did use 5 or 6 bullpen arms. This is a Reds team that is not afraid of using guys back-to-back days. Some teams won't do it. The Reds are a team I've seen do it plenty of times. So still think they might run those guys out there like Alexis Diaz and those guys. But at the end of the day, there's a reason this line set the over-under for the full game set to 8.5, 8-ish range. It's because the weather's not very favorable in Wrigley Field. Minus 9% for home runs, minus 10% for runs as well. Wind should be blowing in. If the Cubs want to ruin me and score 6 runs, I'll allow it. I don't think the Reds are putting up 6+ runs. So I like this little same game parlay. We did this once, and it was a complete L thanks to Zach Eflin. Hopefully this one isn't an L. It's Cubs team total under 5.5, Reds team total under 5.5. Minus 110 on BetMGM. It's the same game parlay. That's not the regular lines, some alt lines, but I really like that one. But Logan, you know what I really like too? Some Nerfies, baby. Get the flags out. It's Nerfy Nation time, baby. Let's fly the flags. And today we have a special episode for Dinger Tuesday. Not only do we have 2 Dinger plays, we got 2 Nerfies. Let's talk about the first one, though, because we cannot decide on which one we love better. So might as well run back with both of them. You know, we talk about when we love a Nerfie, we play it. We just haven't been forcing them, and we've done pretty well when we've seen us loving these ones. But let's talk about this first one. It's going to be the Red Sox and Mariners, taking the no-run first inning. And let's talk about this one. Now, it is minus 120 on Caesars. DraftKings was minus 115, but they took down the Nerfie line as we're about to post our plays. No idea why, but same with FanDuel. They don't have a line for this one, but we're not too concerned about that. Now, let's talk about who's going to lead it off and who we need 3 outs from. It's going to be Bryce Miller. Now, he's going to start for the Mariners, and he is 12-2 on no-on first inning. He's been really good. The Red Sox 14th in first inning runs. Red Sox offense has not been as good on the road. And yesterday, they got a Yerfie, and if you had the no-on first inning in this game, you were down bad after how they actually scored. It was Jaron Duran stole second. The catcher threw it over the second baseman, went to the center fielder as he advanced the third. The center fielder threw it over the third baseman, and that's how they scored a run. If we can't be having that fluke stuff going on today. Miller also coming off a 6 earned run start. I think he's dialed in today. I think he gets those first 3 outs. Who's on the other side for the Red Sox today, Logan?
Yeah, it's Brian Bayo, and he's been a really good pitcher, especially in the Nerfie portion of the games. Bayo 13-4 on Nerfies this year, so you like to see that as far as percentage play. The Mariners tied for 17th in first inning runs. That offense is just really hit or miss, and I think if Bayo has his ground ball, working for him, we should stand a really good chance at cashing, especially with that over-under at 7.5. I mean, Austin and I targeted 2 Nerfies for a reason. The books nowadays set these totals low, and they set them low for a reason because every game normally is finishing 8 or above these days. But I think this one stands a really good chance at cashing.
Yep, and that segues us into our second Nerfie. We need to get out the flags one more time for the vibes. The people need the flags. But I'm feeling good about this one. Hopefully we can go 2-0 on Nerfies. Our 5th and final play before we talk about some Dinger Tuesday plays. Going to the Diamondbacks Giants game, one of the later ones. Both of these are 2 late starts. But we're taking the no-run first inning here. This is about the most juice you'll see us lay on the Nerfie, minus 135 on DraftKings. But we really like this one. And we rarely take 2 Nerfies, but hopefully we can go 2-0 on them today. Now, some books don't have a line on this one right now. I have no idea why, but either way, by the time probably the video's live, they probably have lines, and definitely by first pitch, you'll get a Nerfie line. Hopefully not more than minus 135. But let's talk about Alex Cobb, who will lead things off for the Giants. Now, he is 13-7 on Nerfies. Not the best, but by far not the worst record we've ever seen. He is Nerfied in 4 straight games, so been better as of late. The Diamondbacks are an annoying first inning offense. They're 9th in first inning runs, but this team has just been struggling out the gates. Nerfied in 6 straight games. And when we look at the batters that Cobb's likely going to face, if we look at the lineup, they tried it out exactly yesterday. You saw these guys all have a lot of experience for Cobb and not a lot of good experience. You look at Perdomo, 2 for 13, Marte, 2 for 11, Carroll 0 for 5. The main guy, Christian Walker, 7 for 17, good splits versus Alex Cobb. And then Gurriel, who's likely behind him, 2 for 9. So a lot of these guys haven't really seen Cobb all too well. He's also a guy that can get some ground balls, get us some double plays. Got some favorable weather, which maybe Logan can touch on in a second. But either way, I really do think, actually, no favorable weather. But I think Cobb can, actually, yes, favorable weather. I keep forgetting which one's home. But I like Cobb. He can do his 3 outs. Who's on the other side, Logan?
Yeah, well, I know a favorable pitcher for Nerfy Nation, and that's Zach Gallen. And Zach Gallen should be able to get us those last three outs we need. Gallen 18-4 on Nerfies. He's Nerfied in 4 straight. He's one of the better pitchers, especially in the first inning. He's really tough to see first time through the order. Giants 19th in first inning runs. This offense doesn't scare me at all. I think they're actually like dead last in terms of runs scored in the month of July. I'm pretty sure I saw that statistic there. So, I mean, it's August. Does that spark the offense? I don't really think so, because look at these batter splits versus Gallen. They've seen him before. Not had a ton of success. Wade, 2 for 17. Conforto, 4 for 10. He's probably the best one out of them. Wilmer Flores, only 2 for 13. And Jock Peterson, 2 for 18. So you see, guys, Zach Gallen has had their number, especially in, he should first time through the order be able to get those 3 outs we need. Over under set to 7.5 for a reason. Look, when you look at San Francisco, sometimes the wind's blowing out, sometimes it's swirling. I definitely think that with a total set to 7.5, it doesn't really matter kind of what the weather is. If both these pitchers can keep the ball on the ground, Alex Cobb, we know, normally a ground ball guy, and Zach Gallen, a strikeout specialist. I think this one stands a really good chance to cash, and that's why we picked 2.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's got a good chance. Yeah, like I kept confusing San Francisco and Arizona, but yeah, the San Francisco weather is always weird. But in fact, you're setting at 7.5. I like it. We got 2 Nerfies. Let's go 2-0 on those and cash our other 3 picks. But Logan, it's what everyone waits for. It's Dinger Tuesday time, and I'm gonna go with the guy. I love the guy you're going with, but I'll save him for second because I'm going to go into the, like it's teased in the beginning, I'm going to a Ranger, but I'm going to Adolis Garcia of the Rangers at plus 310 on FanDuel. Now, I think this is a great one, not only because Adolis, I think, is a great matchup here against that White Sox bullpen, who they got plenty of guys that can toss us a turkey, but also at the end of the day, I think this is one where you could get some good money back. This is a Rangers team that has a lot of guys that can hit home runs. Hopefully, Nathaniel Lau gets one, but also this is a White Sox Rangers team that hits a lot of home runs, White Sox team that I feel like when they score, they hit home runs. So I like to take advantage of this game because even if Adolis doesn't get it done, I think there's going to be some home runs to get back some of that money on Dinger Tuesday, which is, you bet $25 and you get $5 per home run in each game. So I think we'll at least see 2-3 home runs in this one. So risking at plus 310, I think we got a good shot there. If either one of these guys gets a homer, we're giving away $100 to one person that subscribes and comments down below. But I got Adolis, Logan. Who are you rolling with today?
I'm rolling with a friend of the program. That's why you said you love him so much. Taking Ryan Mountcastle of the Orioles, plus 400 odds on FanDuel. Look, the team he owns, Ryan has an ownership stake, a minority ownership stake in the Toronto Blue Jays. The most home runs of any team against the Blue Jays. I think we were just talking about that. 15 home runs, I believe, solely against the Toronto Blue Jays. He hits really well in Rogers Center. It's what Ryan does. And against Hyun-Jin Ryu today, look, I mean, Ryu, if he doesn't have his stuff, Ryan knows what to do against the hanger across the plate. Ryan's a really good hitter, especially swinging for the fences. And in a Dinger Tuesday type pick, that's what you want. You want hitters that are extra base hit. I don't care. I want it over the fence, and Ryan's that type of guy.
Yeah, I really like the picks. We should be seeing Ryan on Sunday this upcoming week. But either way, let's have a great day. We got 5 picks, 2 Nerfies, 2 Dinger Tuesday plays. Let's have a day. Let's have a great start to August, and we'll be back again on Wednesday to recap and hopefully give out some more winning picks. I'll see you guys back again on Wednesday. Peace.